The heart of Heartland has always been its family, the bonds that keep them together through every storm and every triumph. But as season 19 unfolds, that very foundation seems to be cracking. The final season looms large, and with it comes an unsettling question: who will be leaving Heartland for good? As the story progresses, whispers of departures and untold goodbyes begin to stir. Some of these exits are expected, but others will leave you questioning everything. Are the beloved characters we've watched for years on the brink of their final curtain call? Season 19 will answer those questions, but the truth might just leave you breathless. Get ready for a roller coaster of emotions, shocking reveals, and a farewell that no one saw coming. The opening moments of Heartland Season 19 will likely be a breath of fresh air for fans after years of intense emotional upheaval. The Bartlett-Fleming family is finding moments of peace. Amy and Ty have fought hard to rebuild their lives and family after Ty's return, and they seem to finally be finding their rhythm again. Their daughter Lindy is growing up quickly, and the warmth of their home on the ranch feels like a refuge from the world outside. The tension from past seasons, the grief, the struggle, and the loss appears to be easing. For a while, it seems like Heartland has reclaimed its heartbeat. But beneath the surface, there are whispers. The shadows of impending goodbyes loom over the family, and it's clear that the calm won't last forever. As the final season begins, the threat of change is palpable, even if it's not yet fully visible. The viewer can feel the shift in the air, as if the winds of fate are blowing in new directions. Fans have grown accustomed to Heartland's bittersweet moments, but this time it's different. The future feels uncertain, and the past seems to be catching up in ways that no one can control. Though many fans are hoping for a clean, happy ending for all their favorite characters, the nature of this final season suggests that things will not be so simple. There are far too many unresolved issues in the hearts of the characters, and the pull of the past will be felt by each one of them. With the looming question of which cast members will be leaving, it becomes clear that some storylines will come to an emotional end, and some characters will be forced to say goodbye, perhaps forever. The first signs of this are small, almost imperceptible, a few moments of hesitation in the characters' faces, unspoken words that linger in the air, and scenes where their eyes seem to be searching for something they can't find. Ty's past struggles, Jack's growing sense of age and loss, and Lou's ongoing battle to maintain her family's legacy on the ranch are all simmering beneath the surface. These long-running themes create an undercurrent of tension that will eventually erupt in the most unexpected ways. Fans have been watching Heartland for nearly 2 decades, and during that time, the bonds between the cast and the audience have deepened into something more than just a show. It's a community. It's a family. And when the time comes for some of these beloved characters to leave, it will feel like a personal loss for everyone involved. At the same time, the promise of closure is what keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. If these characters are leaving, they will do so in a way that feels earned, an emotional culmination of everything that's come before. Whether it's a moment of forgiveness, a farewell, or an unexpected twist, Heartland fans will be guaranteed the closure they've been craving. But as with all great series, the hardest goodbyes are often the ones that come with the most profound lessons. For now, though, the calm prevails. But as season 19 progresses, viewers will start to sense that something big is about to happen. The time to say goodbye is drawing near, and just when it seems like everything is coming together, a storm is on the horizon. Who will be left standing at the end? That is the question that will haunt the entire final season. As Heartland Season 19 continues, the tension that began to build in the first few episodes becomes impossible to ignore. It starts subtly small cracks in the otherwise peaceful lives of the Bartlett-Fleming family. The relationships that seem to have healed begin to show signs of strain, and the characters find themselves at crossroads they never anticipated. Amy and Ty's bond, which was once a symbol of love and perseverance, begins to face an unfamiliar challenge. Ty, despite his return and the hope it brought, still carries the weight of his traumatic past. His memories, once shattered, remain fragmented, and he's unsure of how to fit back into the life he left behind. For Amy, seeing him struggle is a harsh reminder of the years they spent apart. Though she wants to help, she can't shake the feeling that something is off. The undercurrent of uncertainty is most palpable in Amy's growing internal conflict. Her devotion to Ty and their family has always been her anchor, but this new version of him feels distant in ways she can't explain. The moments of joy they share with Lindy are bittersweet, as Amy wonders whether they are truly past the darkest chapter of their lives, or if they're merely standing on the edge of a new, equally devastating one. Ty's hesitations and unexplained absences begin to raise doubts for Amy, and their future together becomes a source of anxiety for her. Meanwhile, the family dynamics on the ranch are shifting as well. Jack, ever the steady presence, begins to show signs of aging and vulnerability. He feels the weight of the years not just on his body, but on his legacy. He's watched his children and grandchildren go through heartache, growth, and change. Now, with the ranch possibly facing its own future uncertainties, Jack starts to ask himself how much longer he can hold everything together. His constant worry for Amy and the rest of the family is compounded by the creeping sense that Heartland is changing, and with change comes the reality of loss. Lou, too, finds herself at a crossroads. She has spent so many years fighting for her family's future, and the weight of that responsibility has taken a toll. But as the final season unfolds, Lo is confronted by the possibility that she's been so focused on keeping the ranch running that she's neglected to nurture her own personal life. She feels torn between her duties to the family and the growing need to prioritize herself. Will she make the decision to step away from the ranch, or will she remain steadfast, ensuring Heartland's legacy is preserved no matter the cost? As each character faces their own internal struggles, the looming question remains: who will be the one to leave? It becomes clear that Heartland is setting up a monumental farewell, one that will affect more than just the core family members. The ranch itself seems to hold memories and echoes of those who came before, and it will soon be time for some of these characters to say goodbye to their pasts. For the audience, it becomes an agonizing guessing game. Will it be Ty, Jack, or Lou? The answers will unfold in the most unexpected ways, and the emotional impact will be felt long after the final episode fades to black. Perhaps someone else entirely. As season 19 unfolds, one thing is becoming crystal clear: nothing stays the same forever. The Heartland family has always been at the core of the series, but change is knocking at the door, and this time it refuses to be ignored. With each passing episode, the reality sets in: some goodbyes are inevitable. The emotional stakes have never been higher, and the departure of a beloved character seems less like a possibility and more like an unavoidable turning point. Every quiet conversation, every lingering glance feels like a countdown to the moment that will reshape everything. These small, seemingly ordinary moments carry weight beyond words. They signal the beginning of the end for some, and mark the closing chapters of a journey that has captivated audiences for years. Heartland has always been about family, love, and resilience, but now it must also grapple with the bittersweet pain of letting go. And what's even more unsettling, not all farewells come with closure. Will questions remain unanswered? Will regrets overshadow good memories? Only time will reveal the full extent of what's to come. But the tension is building, and soon, the inevitable will come to pass. Who will say their final goodbye? The truth is just beneath the surface, waiting to break through. As the drama intensifies, so do the revelations. Season 19 peels back layers of long-buried emotions and hidden struggles, exposing cracks in the family's seemingly unshakable foundation. Beneath the warmth of Heartland's familiar comforts lies a storm of secrets, conflicts, and deep-seated trauma. What once seemed like quiet reflection now simmers with unresolved tensions, pushing characters toward confrontations they can no longer avoid. One of the most startling developments centers around Ty. For years, the belief was that his return marked the end of his struggles, but that couldn't be further from the truth. His silence, once dismissed as a byproduct of time spent away, is now recognized for what it truly is, a defense mechanism shielding him from the painful reality he has yet to face. The wounds he carries run deeper than anyone realized, and in Season 19, those wounds refuse to stay hidden. Ty's battle with post-traumatic stress comes to the forefront, revealing a painful truth he has been suffering in silence. Flashbacks and memory lapses plague him, the scars of a violent past refusing to fade. His decision to stay away wasn't just about self-preservation. It was about protecting his family from the man he feared he had become. Now, as he fights to rebuild his life, he is confronted with the harsh reality that healing is never a straight path, and some ghosts are not so easily exorcised. This revelation shakes the Heartland family to its core, but none more so than Amy. She had hoped for a fresh start, a second chance at happiness, but now she is forced to reckon with the depths of Ty's suffering. The weight of not seeing the signs, of not fully understanding his pain, becomes an unbearable burden. As she grapples with her own feelings of helplessness and grief, she faces an impossible choice. How does she stand by Ty without losing herself in the process? But Amy is not the only one facing a crossroads. Lou, ever the stronghold of the family, is beginning to unravel under the weight of her responsibilities. Running the ranch, maintaining family unity, and chasing her own ambitions have taken a toll, and cracks are beginning to show. For years, she has been the one everyone turns to, the one who keeps everything together, but at what cost? As doubts creep in, so does an unsettling thought. Has she been so focused on holding Heartland together that she's lost sight of who she is? The idea of leaving the ranch, the very place that has shaped her identity, feels unthinkable. Yet, as exhaustion and uncertainty take their toll, she starts to wonder if stepping away might be the only way to truly find herself. But walking away from Heartland is no small decision. Is it an act of self-discovery or just another way to escape? As the season progresses, these questions will demand answers, and the choices made will have lasting consequences. Heartland Season 19 is more than just another chapter. It is a turning point. The family's bonds will be tested, painful truths will come to light, and the landscape of their world will shift in ways they never imagined. Some will stay, some will go, but one thing is certain, nothing will ever be the same again. Meanwhile, Jack, the family patriarch, begins to come to terms with his own aging. Though he has fought against the passage of time, there is a growing sense that his days of leading the family are numbered. Jack's emotional journey in Season 19 focuses on letting go of the ranch, of his role as the leader, and of the belief that he alone can hold everything together. In an emotional sequence, Jack is forced to confront his mortality and the realization that it is time for him to pass the torch to the next generation. The question of who will take over his legacy weighs heavily on him, and for the first time, he must face the fear of leaving Heartland in the hands of others. But these personal struggles and revelations are only the beginning. As Season 19 progresses, the characters begin to grapple with an even greater question: what happens when they no longer have each other to lean on? As more characters face the possibility of leaving, the show pushes the limits of its emotional storytelling. Who will step away from Heartland and who will remain? The answers will be shocking, with lasting consequences for the family fans have followed for so long. With the clock ticking down to the final moments of the season, the stage is set for gut-wrenching goodbyes. Heartland fans are left on the edge of their seats, holding their breath, waiting for the inevitable departures. The secrets that have been buried for years can no longer remain hidden, and the weight of the past will come crashing down on everyone. The emotional toll will be heavy, and not everyone will make it out of Heartland unscathed. As the dust settles on the revelations of Season 19, the stakes are higher than ever. The tension that has been building throughout the season reaches a fever pitch as the departures fans have feared and some secretly hoped for become a painful reality. Heartland has always been a show about family, growth, and resilience. But now, it is also about learning to live without those who have been a constant presence. Got it? Here's the revised version with your YouTube channel name at the end. For so long, the moment has come for the final goodbyes. These farewells aren't just plot twists, they're the emotional heart of the season. Tai, after all the trauma he's faced, must now confront the idea that perhaps the only way forward for his family is for him to step back. Despite his return bringing hope to the family, his unresolved inner turmoil and struggles with PTSD weigh on him more heavily than he can bear. His inability to truly find peace within himself becomes his greatest burden, and he begins to question if staying with Amy and Lindy is truly the best thing for them. Tay's journey has been about healing, but now he faces the heartbreaking realization that his healing may not look the way he envisioned it. In a quiet moment with Amy, where the weight of their shared history and the love they still have for each other is palpable, Tay makes his decision. The sense of closure that fans were hoping for becomes a painful, bittersweet truth. Tai decides that he must leave for the sake of his own mental health and for Amy's and Lindy's future. The decision doesn't come easily. His heart aches with the thought of leaving them behind, but Tai knows it's the right one. This departure, unlike many others in Heartland, is not driven by circumstances outside of Tai's control. It's a decision made by a man who has fought long and hard, only to realize that sometimes the bravest thing is to walk away. For Amy, this goodbye is shattering. She has spent so much of her life alongside Tai, their love story intertwined with the ranch and their family. To lose him again feels like a cruel twist of fate. Yet, she understands in her heart that Tay's departure is necessary. Her journey in Season 19 has been one of growth, learning how to balance love, grief, and personal strength. While she will always cherish the time they spent together, she must now find a way to continue on without him. This parting, although painful, marks a turning point in Amy's character arc. She is no longer defined by her past grief, but by her ability to move forward, to heal, and to love again, whether or not Tay is there to share it with her. Tai's departure is only the beginning of the goodbyes that will shake the foundation of Heartland. Another farewell looms on the horizon, one that feels just as impossible to face. Lou, the unwavering pillar of the family, finds herself at a crossroads. The weight of her responsibilities at Heartland has become too heavy, forcing her to confront a truth she's long avoided. It might be time to walk away. The decision isn't easy. How could it be? Heartland is more than a ranch. It's home. It's the place where laughter and love are woven into every sunrise, where heartbreak and healing exist in equal measure. For years, Lou has given everything to keep the family together, but in doing so, she's lost pieces of herself. Now, for the first time, she's considering the unthinkable, choosing her own happiness over the life she's always known. The conflict within her is agonizing. One path leads to familiar comforts, to the legacy she's fought to uphold. The other is uncertain, uncharted, yet filled with the possibility of rediscovering herself. In the final episodes of Season 19, Lou is forced to face a hard truth. Sometimes, in order to truly grow, you have to let go. Her departure may not be forever, but it marks a seismic shift, not just for her, but for everyone who calls Heartland home. And then there's Jack. The steadfast patriarch, the heart and soul of Heartland, must face a reckoning of his own. Time has never dictated Jack's spirit, but even the strongest man cannot outrun the years. His body is weary, his heart heavier than ever, and for the first time, he must confront a reality he's long denied. His chapter as the guiding force of Heartland is drawing to a close. But stepping away is more than just leaving the ranch. It's letting go of a lifetime of memories, of lessons passed down through generations. Jack has been the anchor holding everyone together, and now he must prepare to pass that role on. The moment he acknowledges this truth is among the most heartbreaking in Heartland's history. His farewell is not just an ending, it's a defining moment that will leave an unshakable impact on the family, the ranch, and the fans who have loved him for so long. Yet, Heartland has never been just about loss. It has always been about resilience, about finding the strength to move forward even when the past pulls at your heartstrings. As these departures shake the core of the family, they also carve a path for what comes next. Change is inevitable, but so is the love that binds this family together. The question that lingers is, who else will leave? With the final season unfolding, the emotional stakes have never been higher. Every goodbye carves out a void, but within that emptiness, there is also room for hope. Hope for new beginnings, for rediscovery, for a future that looks nothing like the past, but is no less meaningful.